So The Pale Blue Eye is a film that we watched a few days ago, but we couldn't get to the review until now. And this stars Christian Bale, and it also stars Dudley from the Harry Potter franchise as Edgar Allan Poe, which I had seen him previously since the Harry Potter films, and I knew he'd lost weight, and I knew he looked different, but he looks like wildly different in this, but is like perfectly cast as Edgar Allan Poe. So this is a murder mystery set in 1830, and it is about a detective who is dealing with some grief of the loss of his wife, and his daughter is now estranged from him, and he's pretty, depressed fella.
He's a sad guy.
He's a sad sack who has a problem with the old bottle, and but he is hired on because there is a series of murders going on at the West Point Academy, and there's these cadets that are being killed in potentially ritualistic ways. Their hearts are being removed and their bodies are being staged, and so he is brought in to try to solve this murder. And while he is there, he meets a West Point cadet by the name of Edgar Allan Poe. And they take on this case together. He kind of, he hires him on kind of as a helping hand, but like unofficially. And they work on this together. Now, this is a slower burn film. If you've seen the director's other films like Into the Furnace or Crazy Heart or Black Mass, he most recently did Antlers, which we both really enjoyed. But he does have a slower, or is it Out of the Furnace? It's Out of the Furnace or Into the Furnace? It's one of those. Christian Bale, I think that was the first movie he worked with him on.
There's furnaces.
Yeah. He also worked with him on Hostiles, the only film this director's directed that I haven't seen. But anyways, if you're into slower burn, period piece, murder mysteries, and or Edgar Allan Poe, this is a definite watch, because I really enjoyed the hell out of this.
Yeah, I did too. The atmosphere was like perfect, and that was definitely my favorite thing. Maybe second only to Harry Melling.
Yeah, Harry Melling.
Harry Melling's performance as Poe, because I found it really charming, and I think that he just did a great job of being like the passionate, witty, like overly like dreamy kind of character, and it was great. It was just very American Gothic, like a perfect American Gothic film.
Him and Bale play off of each other very well, because one is very passionate, melodramatic, and the other one is very kind of like somber and like calculated, right? Like Poe is kind of like romanticizing everything around him with his words and the investigation, and Bale is more like seasoned, and he's also doesn't care as much because he doesn't view the world as beautiful as Poe kind of does, and as I said, Poe's more romanticizing everything because he's a poet. So there is this really great dynamic that has a lot of contrast, but they play off of each other very, very well. Kind of like in comedies where you have like the straight man and you have the wild man, the way that they play off of each other. So there's a really good chemistry there that's balanced.
It's really solid.
Yeah, so that I really enjoyed, but overall, I like the historical fiction approach to this film of taking Edgar Allan Poe, whether or not he was in West Point as a cadet, whether or not, he helped on a murder investigation while he was young. I doubt it. I don't know anything about his life, but I have heard his stories. I've seen adaptations of his stories, and this felt very Poe as a story, just Definitely. A lengthier version, and having Poe in it felt really it felt right, and I think the performance by Harry Melling as Poe is great, even though it might be a little melodramatic. It's on purpose because he's a very excited poet who wants to be over exaggerative with everything that he does because he loves talking so much.
Yeah.
Like me.
Yes, I was just gonna say. Yeah.
But yeah, if you're a Poe fan, if you're into murder mysteries, if you're into period pieces, if you're into historical fiction, yeah, I think this is a big winner. We both enjoyed the hell out of it. We saw Megan and we saw this the same night, and so far 2023 is off to a great start. You've also got a couple other character actors in here like Timothy Spall, and you've also got Toby Jones. So you've got like those typical casts of characters that you get in films like this, and of course they're good as usual, but where the people who really shine here, of course, are the two mains, which is what this story needs. And I do really enjoy the ending. I think that it pays off and it makes sense, and there's some really good there's really good emotional payoff in the ending, and then it leaves it open to your interpretation. You'll see what I mean by that. I definitely have my way I think it goes, because that's what makes sense. But it could also go the other way, and there's arguments to that as well. But overall, great film. It's on Netflix. If you've seen this director's other work, you'll kind of know what tone to expect. It does not feel like Antlers, though. Antlers is much different.
Yes, this is not.
That's more of
maybe
like
the only thing that's similar is the heavy atmosphere in both.
Yeah, that's more of like
and the dark tones,
folk tale, modern folk tale, and this one is much more of like this dreary murder mystery, Poe-ish story, which is just tonally very different, but very good.
Yes.
So, anyways, if that sounds up your alley, definitely check it out and let us know. So, it's on Netflix. It's about 2 hours long. But, as I said, it's slower. So, it might not be your thing. You'll know. Let us know if you watch it.
Bye. Bye.